marshmallow.
Just make sure. Perfect. All right. Yeah, definitely. When you're on stage,
Yeah.
those are pretty close to you. One time I was actually shooting, and I was right in front of one of those flame things, and they're like, "Dude, get down, get down! This is about to go off." I was like, "Oh my god!" But okay, cool. So you're here, Moonrise again. Yeah, pretty good.
Last time was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, my first year actually.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the most pivotal point in your career, getting to this point now?
I think, well, it depends how you define it. Like when I think the point where you go from doing it as a hobby, as fun, to something full time. There's no like one moment. It's just sort of gradually you're getting busier and you're getting radio play and you get critical mass. But the critical moment was, remember, I hired Deadmau5 to remix Lawrence Road right at this arc in his career where things were just blowing up before the Mouse hit.
Yeah.
So that was like the first tipping point. That was like, okay, you have permission to tour. People know who you are. People know the song. They may not know who you are. So I had to spend the next 10 years working and just sort of touring and flying around the world and getting the music out there and working on tons of albums.
So networking is definitely big.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
That's with everything. So since EDM was pretty new when you entered the industry, who, if anyone, inspired your early work?
The early stuff I got into was, there was some underground stuff that I got into, but actually before that it was the big beat stuff, Crystal Method, The Prodigy, all that stuff. That was the first wave of like electronic music. Or that was the first mainstream push for electronic stuff before EDM was a term. So that stuff was inspiring. I was doing college radio as a high school student then, and then there was all these different sort of waves and different attempts where EDM never quite broke through. Especially with college students, it wasn't a thing. I never thought like frat brothers would be you know,
at the parties.
Yeah.
Go to. Yeah.
If you had said that to somebody back when I was in my school, they'd be like, "You're crazy." It's hip hop only.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those guys, I was into them, and then I got to Terry LeBron Jr. and Time Rider, which are kind of more like German tech house. I got more into underground stuff for a while. I made underground music, and then I started doing vocal tracks. And that was when I was like, "Oh, I like this better."
Yeah. So even though it wasn't like a mainstream thing, and a lot of people were making fun of it, you were able to see past that and keep producing your music.
Yeah, I got a lot of flack for being into electronic music in the early stages, back when it wasn't cool. Like, it was really funny. It was like, oh, you're a tweaker if you like electronic music.
It's that contrarian point of view.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was never like a drug user or anything. I really never did drugs. Smoked weed a little bit in Vermont. That's how you grew up in Vermont. But it was it was weird. It was this. I think people were scared because it was unfamiliar.
Yeah, definitely new, different kind of music. So, was there anything that you would change if you could start over back then?
I started really early. Like I started putting a little mini studio together when I was 12. But I don't know. You know, I thought at 21 I would be like Avicii. It doesn't always pan out as quickly as you want it to. So it took a long time. So maybe you start even earlier.
Really?
Yeah. You know, because like Matty on and these guys, like they started 12, but they had better tools to kind of get better more quickly. Whereas I think for me it was more incremental because the gear was so expensive. It was $2,000 for a synth, $2,000 for a computer, and then $2,000 for a sampler.
Were you growing up in like a frugal neighborhood too? Was it?
Yeah, I got in the country. Vermont. So I grew up on a dirt road.
Yeah.
And if you suddenly you had some equipment, people thought you were a drug dealer.
Yeah.
I remember buying stuff I would make money from doing remixes on the side. My parents were like, "You're not dealing drugs, are you?" I wasn't.
So, just looking into your past and everything and present, seeing your admiration for Elon Musk, obviously, and renewable energy, and have you taken any steps to inspire your fans to get involved in this movement at all, too?
Yeah, it's super inspiring. I mean, I actually saw Elon last night. He's a fan. So it's really cool because I have like people that I know that run the assembly line at the factory that are building the cars, to people that are mid-level in the company up to like Elon's a fan. So it's so cool. It just sort of aligns with what I'm all about. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that all they want to do is just make money and live like a pimp. But he's the guy that wants to have impact.
Yeah.
So I think that's really admirable.
It's willing to take a loss where others would want to make money.
Yeah, he bet everything on it. He doesn't relax by going and sitting on a beach and having a fine time.
What do you think about the new Hyperloop?
I think it's interesting. I mean, I can't keep up with it. So, like the Boring Company and the Hyperloop. I think it's all. I think people that doubt him are usually surprised in the long term. He's a good long term thinker. So, but it's interesting though, because we're trying to figure out. Like, I've done some music for Tesla. Done some stuff with Solar City. My studio is Solar Power. But it's like, where do you take it from here? I think the next generation. I hope that they're as passionate as I am. But it's hard because green. It's not really like sexy to sell green technology. And solar panels are surprisingly hard to sell to people. But to me, it was like a no-brainer. Like, you put them on your roof and you don't pay anything, and your power bill goes down.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty. Yeah. I mean, if I didn't have an electric car and a studio, it would cover everything.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he would make you one of the faces of Tesla?
It'd be nice. I know we've talked about it. Like, what's the right fit? Because they don't really advertise.
Yeah.
So they've sold more cars than they can make right now. There's no advertising. Isn't that insane?
It's like a Ferrari move.
Yeah.
You never see a TV advertisement for a Ferrari.
Yeah. But I think they can get that cool cachet without having to only make 2,000 cars a year, or whatever Ferrari makes it for them.
Yeah.
But I like that stuff. Where it was funny because I think in the early days I would tweet about the car, and some people got pissed. They were like, "Why are you flaunting like a nice car?" I'm like, "No, it's not about that. It's about the movement of electric cars." Yeah, it's inspiring stuff. So we'll see how it translates to fans. And, I put out the Model 3 song just as a fun thing. It's not the official Model 3 theme, but it's fun to score something.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
you were saying you've been doing this for a very long time, and you've been doing it since like before it was cool. You were saying, So like at the time, like what inspired you to make electronic music?
I think it was just hearing it on the radio airwaves. That was the only way to discover it was college radio, and so I lived out on these dirt roads, and it was just like immediately I got the bug for it. At first I thought it was really repetitive. And it was different back then. It was slightly different than what it is now. It's not as attention grabbing. But I just listened to it, and then I started to hear mix shows that I liked, and then I started to fill in for guys that wouldn't show up for their shows. So there was dead air, and I would drive into the radio station. So after I started, I would send in cassettes to the radio station. Dating myself. I would send in cassettes and be like, "Hey, can you please play my stuff? Like, I think it fits your show." And they started playing it, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, everything kind of shifted when you get that validation. Like, you're 14 years old, and you get the radio station playing your stuff. It's crazy. But because everything else was just pop radio, and you had to pay for it.
Did you always listen to electronic music growing up?
No, it was hip hop before electronic.
Hip hop.
Like Tribe Called Quest, all the classic stuff.
Run DMC, maybe.
Yeah. I think everything having that beat focus, that was a big thing.
Yeah, beat seems to be pretty prominent in your music.
Yeah.
I noticed that's like your main go-to, and then the full
it's the anchor of it all. I mean, all the songs are there. I've written these so that they last and they stick around for 10 or 20 years. You can wrap them up in any framework you want. But I mean, you heard today, like the new stuff I have, I remix it for a festival setting, and then there's a Spotify version. It's very different.
Yeah.
Interesting. So if you were a 14-year-old today, I'm sorry. So if you were a 14-year-old today, what would you tell yourself to try to get into the game?
I started a side project to do exactly that. Like, I took everything I learned in 15 years making music, or however long, and put it into it's going to be in an app, actually like a free app, but right now it's on a blog. So I literally write posts like, here's how to improve your workflow, not just like how to get a fat kick drum, but everything I put in one place. But there's all these little rules, like the rule of 3, where your brain can only hear 3 simultaneous elements at once in a song. You have to rotate the elements, and you have to sort of change your arrangement to reflect that cognitive load. So all these little tricks and little hacks I found over the years, you still got to do the work. There's no shortcut for the work. But if I was to tell myself something, I think the really important thing is if you're getting into it at a young age, you have to
wrap it up. I'm not being a dick. They're literally shutting the festival down right now. No joke. They're kicking everybody out. Yeah, just all the music was turned off, and they said everybody has to exit the festival due to bad weather. So I'm gonna try to sneak this other interview real quick, so I don't. I'm just trying to. Sorry, I'm like fucking. Like all of a sudden the music turned off. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, kind of.
They're like, everybody needs to exit. I'm like, it's not even that bad.
It was so nice. Like
There's a fucking plane flying in the air right now. Like, but dude, I'm like, it's gonna be a shit show. So.
So it's done for the day, or?
Yeah, wait, did they say anything about like reopening, or is it just done?
I could barely even hear. I just heard, please exit as soon as possible due to bad weather, and all the music turned off. So that's all I really heard.
Okay.
So, alright, I'm gonna bring her in.
You can include a link to MP Quick Tips, like motorbasequicktips.com. So it's on Twitter at MP Quick Tips. But I'd love people to follow it out, follow it, and see what they find useful.
Awesome.